matshwenyeho re hapeletsa ke mathata re hapeletsa ke tlala oh rio ripo oh matshwenyeho ba le setseng rapelang fela rio ripo ta mathata salile fela ke thapelo.
Lovely listeners, once again, you are welcome on this wonderful show on the CTEC Agri Tele this morning. We are in the office of the Amasaman District Director of National Commission for Civic Education's Director's Office. That today we have the privilege to have her here to have a chit-chat, brief interview with her. Now, she is the person of Madam Edith Akpene Awudo. Madam Edith Akpene Awudo. She is the Amasaman District Director, National Commission for Civic Education. We are in the office to have this particular interview. My name is Collins Nanajiman. Of course, you can also call me Don Colinto, representing CTEC TV this very morning. Madam, you're welcome to this wonderful show this morning.
Thank you.
The CTEC show. Citizen Eye Ghana, the CTEC Agri. So at the end of the day, if you want to be a farmer and you want to enter into subsistence farming, mechanized farming, cattle ranching, and all forms of farming, what the CTEC Agri can do to help you is to facilitate loans, securing loans from various and respective banks, so that at the end of the day, you'll be able to get capital to secure all your equipment that are needed for farming activities. So that is what CTEC Agri does. So anytime that you want to enter into farming activities or farming ventures, just go to them and of course discuss your challenges with them, and they will be able to help you through loan securing and the rest of that. Then we also have CTEC Transport. They are also there to help us a lot in terms of transportation challenges. The communities where we live and of course the whole Ghana at large, they are here to serve us because the commuters need cars, especially those who normally rely on the public transport. CTEC is there, Citizen Eye Ghana Transport is there to make sure that all the buses, the mini buses, fully air conditioned, just write to them or go to them and discuss your challenges with them as far as transportation challenges are concerned. They will be able to put a brand new mini bus at your enclave so that the marketing and of course transportation aspect will be very, very, very minimal for you. Okay, so they are also there. So call them, call the managers, and of course those who are managing that particular company, and they will be of help to you. And of course, we also have other institutions who are also helping us a lot to make sure this program is aired almost every day. We acknowledge them, and of course, you, the cherished viewer, I believe, across the world, Africa to America, Asia to Australia, Europe, North and South, or wherever that you find yourself. We thank you so much for always having time for us to listen and viewing most of our programs. We thank you so much. Okay, now that we are done with the acknowledgements, now let us go straight to Madam Edith Akpene Awudo, who happens to be the District Director, Amasaman NCCE, which is National Commission for Civic Education. Madam, once again, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so this morning, viewers, we're going to discuss about violence extremism. Violence extremism. We normally talk about violence. So today, Madam is going to give us a brief. When you say violence, your own opinion, what do you mean by violence?
Violence, situation that happen when people's annoyed or maybe certain needs are not met, they react towards that in a negative way by destroying property. Because as human as we have our needs as a citizen, and if those needs are not met, they react towards in a violent way by either fighting among themselves or destroying public property, which affects either the community or the state as a whole.
Well, thank you very much for such a brief definition of violence. So like I said earlier, we're going to discuss more about violence extremism. And according to Madam Ope, what she just explained, It is true because sometimes you hear a couple of people in the organizations, corporations, and sometimes even individuals. Some people try to register their displeasure on certain things going on in our community, and mostly from our leaders, or let's say from the leadership. But instead of them to go to the positive direction, because I think or I believe in 1992 Constitution, it has even enshrined into it that the freedom to have demonstration, just to register your displeasure on certain issue, but certain protocols supposed to be followed, as you know. No, as human as we are, or in a human society, as you rightly said, it bounds to happen. It's not anybody at all who would get all that patient, who also want to follow the protocol to, register this kind of displeasure, and then for that matter, it turns into violence. Okay, so now let us go. At what point can violence erupt?
Okay, when still the people feel that still they forward their displeasure to the appropriate cortex, and still they don't do anything about
Okay.
it. They feel that they need to react, and they organize themselves and they demonstrate against the situation, either by blocking the road or they do all sorts of things just to make people feel uncomfortable.
Okay, thank you very much. Now let us move on into this category. Now we have something called domestic violence. Then we have other forms of violence. So can they take us through when we say domestic violence? What is it about?
Okay, domestic violence, talking about abuse in the house between couples and in the matrimonial home.
Okay.
Where maybe either the man or the woman try to abuse each other.
Okay.
In a way of resolving their differences, they tend to beat each other.
Okay. So in your opinion, with your knowledge into that, what are some of the causes that can erupt into violence? Now we are still on the domestic issues because you did mention of, let's say, couples. Sometimes we can even go beyond even the extended family and stuff like that. So what are some of the basic or the fundamental causes of this violence domestically?
It can be misunderstanding, and at times to recall something, peace. Everybody have a definition of peace. If a woman and your husband take care of you, provide housekeeping,
So
that
that's
woman
peace.
at that moment have peace. But to someone who doesn't find those kind of things, there's no peace in his or her house.
Okay.
So differences, misunderstanding can bring a lot of challenges in the house.
Okay.
That tends to
Okay.
and people react in a violent way.
Okay. So now let us move from
It can
the
also be conflict.
conflict.
Conflict with that.
Okay, so that's why I said earlier on, I said, now let us elevate ourselves a bit from the domestic to probably the outer lane. When I say the outer lane, let's say the extended family, the community, and the realm. Now, we can't actually talk about violence without talking about politics. No, not necessarily we are going to do politics, but NCCE, your main focal point objective is to educate the citizens to know their rights and of course to do things right, so that at the end of the day it will bring this kind of peaceful atmosphere into the coexistence into our communities, so that we keep on treading on this peace that we keep on talking about. Now, madam, let us go this way. There is something I mentioned earlier on called civic education, civic responsibility. Now, you hear sometimes somebody will tell you, oh, for me, I'm not going to vote this year. You ask the person why because now one thing they're supposed to know is that it is their civic responsibility or civic right to vote when you have attained at the age of 18 years plus. That is it. But at a point, somebody will tell you, because we are emanating all this thing from the violence issue that we are talking about, because in our community, we need certain, basic things like utilities and the rest. So when all these things are not coming forth, this is where, this violent nature will erupt and the people begin to do whatever, which is of course not pleasant. Now, let us come to think of this. It's when you are above 18, or let's say 18 years plus, it is your civic right or responsibility to vote. But let me hear from you, because you people do intense education. You educate the citizen. How come someone who has attained at the age of 18 years eligible to vote? What are some of the factors that will come in for the person to say, for me, I'm not going to vote because of this or that? What are some of the causes of this?
Okay, actually, Article 41 talk about the duties of
A citizen, yes.
And one of the duties is to exercise your franchise as a citizen of a country. If you are 18 years in Ghana, if you are 18 years, you are allowed to go and register and vote. So it's your civic responsibility. And when people needs are not met, they don't feel the need for them to go and vote. They don't see the reason why they should go and vote, because they vote and the social amenities that are supposed to be provided for them. They don't see those things. They don't see the need for them to go. But it is our duty to tell them that as a citizen of Ghana, you have to vote if you attend 18 years. You have to register and be a voter. And if you have a sound mind.
So if I deduce straight from your submission on this particular question, does it come into play the leadership? Some leadership don't do what they are expected to do. They don't live to our expectation. Because you did mention of, now this particular community in which we all live, you're supposed to have what they call the utility services supposed to be rendered to us and the stuff. Though we also, as you said Article 48, right? 41. Yes, the fact that it is our responsibility to vote, because it is through our vote that we elect this leadership. So, the representatives, the representatives in the various levels. Yes. So I was asking, that means should we also factor the leadership quality? Do we also factor it into this one? Because like they also supposed to know their responsibilities. Though we have to do, it's a done affair. We as a citizen supposed to do our part, and the what do you call it? The managers, or let's say the leadership, also supposed to do theirs. Don't you think this also can also cause this violence kind of things in our communities?
Yeah, it is true, because they queue and voted for a person who will represent them in their constituency. And when that needs are not met, the road is bad, they can't transport their produce to the market, and they can organize them. For me, I won't vote again. But the constitution is saying, the 1992 constitution says, as a duties as a citizen of this country, you have a right to vote and choose leader who will represent you. So it's just hand go hand come. As you also play your part, they must also play their role as a leader that represents us.
Okay, thank you, madam. You are still watching CTEC Agri Telly. This is the CTEC show. I'm here with Madam Edith Akwene Awudo, who happens to be the District Director, National Commission for Civic Education, Amasaman District. In her office right now that we are having this particular interview. So you can also be part and parcel of this by sending in your WhatsApp messages, and of course that will be read live on there, and of course other social media handles. We are discussing about violence, extremism, how violence can erupt and its consequences that we can actually experience as a nation in our community and the stuff like that. So this is what Madam is taking us through. So like I said earlier on, you can also be part and parcel of this wonderful show. Okay, Madam, let us go this way. Can ethnocentrism also come into play with this as far as violence extremism is concerned? Ethnicity, ethnocentrism.
Yes.
In which way?
When other lineage or people from different backgrounds,
Okay.
it can also result to violence.
Okay. Like to add a little to it, like what is happening between the Kusasis and the Mampusi at the north now.
Yes.
So that one can cause mayhem or violence. Okay.
Because these parties not understanding each other and they are fighting for particular things, and at the end of the day they are not making peace. The conflict still continues and they don't see the reason why they will come together. So I think the opinion leaders must calm them down, talk to each parties involved in resolving such a conflict.
Okay. So, as an institution or as a commission, which is of course the National Commission for Civic Education, let take us through when you go out there in regards to the violence nature of issues, as we mentioned earlier on. How do you educate the people to so that they will be violence free in our communities?
I think you as a person, because of the intra peace, you need to find peace within yourself. So if you have that peace within yourself, I think belonging to a group, you can also help resolve that kind of peace. But if you don't have that intra peace, that's peace within yourself, I don't think you will be able to help the group or the association that you belong to solve or resolve that kind of conflict. So we should just try to find peace with our own self before the group that we belong to will be able to help resolve such a conflict. So I think when you talk about violent extremism, and there are some push and pull factors, things that trigger people to react in a violent way. Maybe either it's a poor governance, things are not going well in a country, socio-economic issues,
Comes the order of the day,
discrimination, and a whole lot of things, or collective conflict. Like it has been there for a long time, but a little thing triggers such a thing again, and you see people fighting around each other. And then the parties involved must be called to order by opinion leader. If possible, government must come into it, delegate people, appoint people who can sit down to resolve such a conflict, so that at least we can live in our community freely, work, even though at times unemployment too can be a cause of violent extremism. And most of the issues are the target is the youth. They are mostly into like every little thing they react in a negative way. So as youth, young as they are, I think they should channel their energy towards something productive that will help the country to move forward. They are reacting in a violent.
All right, thank you so much. It seems we are really enjoying ourselves. Madam is taking us through a lot, and I believe at the end of the day, like I said earlier, we'll be able to have a positive impact after this particular interview, because we are really learning a lot as far as Madam is concerned, of that matter, NCC. Madam, you did mention something that triggered me for me to ask you this question. You did mention of the youth. Your last part of your submission, yes, the youth these days, they are very vibrant, and whether we like it or not. Now, before any violence erupts, some of the earlier factors that you mentioned, because the leadership quality is one, so many issues. This ethnocentrism, you are from here, you are also from there, misunderstanding here and there. But now the point here is that, do you also foresee that this one is not politics, that let us call a spade a spade? Don't you also think that all what we are seeing from the youth now, we sometimes describe them, youth these days have violence here and there. Don't you also think that the whole thing also emanated from the way our managers, when I say our managers, those in the leadership are also going about their things, their duties, their responsibilities? Because you did mention earlier on what they are expected to do, they are not doing it. And each and every day we do hear them, future leaders. These future leaders belong to the youth category that you mentioned. So what is your take on that? What do you have to say on that?
I think maybe their parents are taking care of them through school, after school. They are done with national service, and there's no job. So they get frustrated in their various communities or wherever they belong to. So because they are young, vibrant in society,
yes.
most of them act based on impulse.
Okay.
They do things without not thinking about the consequences. That the result will be so.
Okay.
They just act in a violent way. So, and they think that is the only way to resolve their grievance or to speak to, because they think that when they demonstrate, and that is what maybe the government or maybe people may listen to them, so they turn out.
But that's the perception of some people.
Yeah.
They say the only thing they understand is to demonstrate.
So when you
Okay.
demonstrate, they will listen to. I don't think it will help a developing country like Ghana. So as young as they are young and strong and vibrant.
Youthful exuberance. Yeah.
So they should channel their energy to something productive that will help this country to move forward. Even if the job is not there, you can channel that energy, doing something, and as and when the jobs are available, I think they also employ.
All right, thank you very much. You are still on CTEC, a great telly, the CTEC show. We are here with Madam Edith Apene Awudo, who happens to be the Amasaman District Director, National Commission for Civic Education. And we are in her office, we are in her office for this particular interview. And she has taken us through violence, extremism, and I believe by now you have gotten your fair share of it. So I believe we should all help them to help build Ghana, because for the education, they will continue to educate us, but it left to us also to cooperate with them so that Mother Ghana continue to tread on her goodwill. Okay, Madam, I think we are about to end our interview. We're supposed to be very brief, and you've actually explained a lot to us. So what is your final advice to the youth, the managers, talking not necessarily politicians, but the leadership, the youth and the rest, as far as this violence nature of it?
I think we are all citizens of Ghana, and the 1993 Constitution, Article 41, talk about the duties of a citizen. And duties are inseparable. If you have a responsibility, I am a citizen, I have my duty. And what about your responsibility as a citizen? Every right goes with responsibility.
Yes, right goes.
You can't have a right without knowing
your responsibility.
Sure.
Sure.
So we must all be responsible. Even though we have our rights as a citizen, we need to be responsible citizen. Every action that we take, we have to account for it. What are we doing to help develop this country? Our leaders are playing their role. What about you? You need to be responsible citizen. And Ghana belongs to all of us. We say peace. We must all find peace within ourselves.
Sure.
Intra peace. before the group that we belong to. So peaceful coexistence. Peaceful, we have to live peacefully with each other before the nation can move forward. That peaceful coexistence. It doesn't matter where you are coming from. We are one people with a common destiny. So let's live together as a nation and let's build Ghana together because Ghana belongs to all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ghana belongs to all of us, and for that matter, we must all contribute our quota to build socio-economic development. So that says Madam Edith Akwende Awudo, the Amasaman NCCE, that's the National Commission for Civic Education, Amasaman District Director. And of course, there is happening to be her maiden interview with CTEC TV, and we appreciate everything that she has done so far for us, and we have already built our team. So we thank her so much. And of course, you, the cherished viewer, wherever that you find yourself along the globe, thank you very much that you always be part and parcel of this wonderful show. Hopefully, next time we'll also be here and we'll talk about other issues. Once you are a citizen, make sure that you discharge your duties effectively so that everything will be in accordance. Thank you so much.